First and foremost, how are you both?
All good, thank you. That's cool. Like nice, calm, and Dan come with the water and the hat. So, good reminder why we're here.
Let's go back in time. When you first entered a boxing ring, Dan, why was that?
I went down my local gym, sparred, got beaten up, and then I just said I want to learn this sport. I want to get better. I felt a bit vulnerable. I thought, wow, okay, so I can do this to me in a ring that I'm not expecting. What could happen if I'm on the street or whatnot? So yeah.
And what made you want to go there in the first place?
I think YouTube. That was the time, the emergence of YouTube. I was watching a lot of highlights of certain boxers, Roy Jones, David Hay. And they made the sport look artistic. I thought, wow, okay, it's not just bish bash wallop, there's a counter, bang, and it just looked nice. I thought, let me try this.
Joshua, why did you go to a boxing ring?
For me, it was somewhere where I could fight and not get in trouble. Growing up, getting into all kinds of fights, but I learned there's a thing called boxing where when you fight, it's allowed. No one will tell you off, you won't get in trouble for it. So that was my first encounter, and that was like my main reason.
And when you look back at the boys that you were before you entered the ring, how has the boxing lifestyle changed both of you? Go to you first, Josh.
For me, it's been good. It's changed me a lot because there's challenges that come with it, good and bad, but for the good we'll talk about, and it's changed for the good because the help that I want to do, I'm able to do. That's to sum it up. If you see something and you want to have a positive impact on it, boxing is enabling me to do that, so I'm very happy with that.
And what would you like to do in terms of helping people?
I think it's best for it to be done, then I can talk about it, rather than saying I want to do this, that, like that. So let it be done, then you can pull me up in an interview like this, maybe with Dan again, and then we'll talk about it.
Dan, how's boxing changed your life?
Just installed discipline. I was very boisterous when I was younger. Used to fight all the time. I was quite short as well, so I had like short man syndrome. I always wanted to prove that I'm as big as everybody else. I think growing up as well, I had like anger issues as well. Just boxing gave me that discipline, that consistency, and it showed me with both those two attributes how far and what you can do and what you can achieve.
I think it's fair to say both of you were the thinking men of boxing simply because you both have degrees. Joshua and to you as well, Dan, why was education so important to you?
It's just my mum and dad. Yeah, I came from Ghana to this country, and to say you came from Ghana to now do boxing, they were like, this is not happening. So I said, cool, to keep you a bit quiet, I'm going to go down that route of education, which was the primary reason why we came to this country originally, my sister and I. And it was just to keep my parents quiet. But it's been very important in the long run, and looking back at my life now, it's very, very important. And it's something that I would tell others to do. And I'm very thankful to my parents for making sure that it's something that I stuck to.
And what did you study?
Management studies and sports science. But interestingly enough, I'm very, 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 very interested in accountancy, and that's what my man did.
I'm interested in sports. Like now, I wish I did something in sports. So it's funny.
And Dan, why was education important to you? As Joshua said, you studied accountancy.
Same reason. My parents, first generation, they came here to, provide a better life for themselves, their family. And I'll be honest, I wasn't interested in education, but my mum, I'm one of 6, and she grafted for all of us. So in appreciation to her and just to make her happy, it was a big thing for her, like all her children to have degrees and whatnot. So that was my main reason. But again, just like Josh said, in the long run, it's been beneficial. Do you know what I mean? Boxing doesn't last forever. It's you've got a time frame, so it's something I can fall back on.
And both of you mentioned your parents. How proud are they of the men that you've become?
Hopefully very proud. There's a long way to go, but you see, for me, what day is it today? What date is it?
Dates?
Yeah,
13th.
dates. 13th. I came to England 21 years ago on August the 10th. So I text both my parents a couple of days ago and said, thank you very much, like you brought me here, you changed my life, X, Y, Z. So I thank them so much because that's, you know, that's what they've done. They brought me here. That was what they did. And when we look back now, I hope that they're proud, like how far I've come. My dad said the same thing. My mum said the same thing. So I'd like to think they're very proud of me.
Dan, your parents?
Yeah, my mum calls me her hero. She doesn't even tell me why. She doesn't say it. She just says, yeah, you're my hero. And that's it. Like, even now, just saying it, I'm getting like, do you know what I mean? She's very, very proud of me, you know. She gets relatives, friends, they're like, oh, Dan, like, we just saw it. Like, that's, like, you know, it's a big thing for her, and it's a big thing for me, and I want to continue to make her proud.
And you're both Londoners. Which area do you rep? Very close. You were close friends. How did the friendship begin?
I think I went to spar him, but he, like, in the amateurs, he's always been like elite. So, and I'm someone, I study the sport, I watch. So I was trying to be good as an amateur. So I used to watch his fights. I think this guy's good, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Him and Dwayne. I went down to spar them, and then from there we've just always kept that kind of close relationship. You know, for my last fight when I won the European title. Josh came and helped me out, always helps me out as well, gives me good advice, and yeah, I guess from there, we've just had that, relationship.
How would you define the friendship with Dan?
It's an interesting one because I spar so many people and I don't really care about it. We spar, I'm cool with them and everything, but Dan was one that was always around in the gym. If I needed work, I hit him up. If he needed work, he'll hit me up and we'll get it on. So it's an interesting one to be honest, because there were two people I said in boxing I wouldn't fight. I said, they're my good friends. One was one of my best mates, Dwayne Sinclair, and the other one was Dan. And I always said that, so sitting here now, it's like, oh, you said you'd never fight him. But here we are, and as I said, because it's for something important, we can put the friendship to the side for 12 rounds or less and get on. So, yeah, it's an interesting one.
As you said, the winner of this fight will go on with a chance to become a world champion. Only you know what that means to you. Dan, if one day you can say to your children that you were a world champion, what would that mean for you?
I mean, the world, you know, that's legacy right there. Do you know what I mean? I've started from the ground up, you know, from southern area, all through the other belts to being a world champion. That's like crazy. Even when I'm gone, they'll probably still be mentioning me, you know. People probably want to win all of those kind of belts as well, or be an inspiration to them. So yeah, it means a lot. It's bigger. It feels like it's bigger than me just going there and saying, yeah, I'm world champion.
And Joshua, if one day you become a world champion, what would that mean to you?
Everything. I say everything because my story it's a weird one. I grew up in Ghana, had no aims, aspirations in life. Big shout out to my parents, all the aunties and uncles, those generations, they hustled, they came to England. My parents were able to bring me over. Then I came across this thing called boxing and I said I wanted to do it. Thank God, you know, I've been always winning, done well at it. So to look back to see where I came from, what I was doing as a child, my childhood was not in England. I can't give you childhood stories because they were based in Ghana and they were not, I didn't have like dreams or goals until I came to this country, the land of opportunities, and like I said, found this thing called boxing. So to be able to sit back and say, guys, I fought for a title, I did this, I won a title. I don't just want to be someone that, competed for it. I won the title. And you look back in my history and my life and where my childhood came from, it'll be crazy, man. And that's why I make sure I always go back to Ghana to see the people from there, to let them know that, look, I was born here just like you. I had a breakthrough, the opportunity to come to England to do something, but you guys can do it as well. So it's very close to my heart and it's dear to me. And, you know, one day I want to sit and say, look, I did it.
And both of you have very strong reasons as to why you want to be world champions. Both of you have the pride of your parents backing you, and I'm sure you've both got your separate communities as well. But standing in your way to that journey, at least in this particular part, is your friend. Just how difficult will it be for you to dig deep in those final moments, knowing that you have to inflict pain onto someone that is close to you?
That exact reason is why it makes it a bit more personal, because my so to speak, friend is the one that's in front of my goals and aspirations. But like he's mentioned, it's for all the marbles, basically. Do you know what I mean? So we have to put that friendship aside and yeah, make it happen. Now, I don't think once the bell rings, I don't think there's going to be any. Do you know what I mean? I know Josh. He's someone who's, look, I just need to get the job done, and I'm very much the same. There's no if, buts, or maybe. I have to go in there and make sure my hand gets raised at the end of the contest, regardless of whether he's my friend or, you know, I've known him for X amount of years or whatnot. Like, the goal remains the same. I need to be victorious, and that's in the ring.
Joshua, how are you going to be able to push through the friendship, to dig deep, to make sure that it's your hand, not Dan's, that's raised?
I mean, out of the ring, I'm human like everyone, but in there I have no emotion. So it will be the same. The bell will ring, and you know, those times and during those periods, there's no emotion. But to make sure at the end that my hand's lifted up, there's no emotion. I don't see Dan Azeez in there when I'm fighting. I know it's someone that I need to get rid of. So there's no emotion.
You both have come from nothing to become global sports stars now. Joshua, you went to the Olympics. Dan, you broke records getting to become a light heavyweight champion. When you see yourself beyond the ring, when people come up to you to ask for pictures, for people ask for advice, how does it feel knowing that you're a role model to so many Londoners now?
I don't know if I don't get the pictures, and maybe he gets that more, but yeah, it feels good to be a role model. Like, it's nice going back to your community, and again, that's another reason why it's so important to me, because I see these kids in like local gyms, and I'm like, listen, all you got to do is just keep doing what you're doing, and you can be something. You can get to where you want to be, and they just need someone that they can relate to. You know, it's different, like when it's coming from maybe someone a bit older, or you know, they can't really relate to. But if they, you know, oh, Dan from across the street, like, yeah, I remember Dan, and they can relate a bit more. And a lot of these kids as well, they just need something positive to put their energy into. And seeing someone like me, you know, I'm fighting on Sky Sports, headlining with Josh, like, it makes it more believable and real to them. Like, yeah, if he can do it, I can definitely do it, you know. So, yeah.
Josh, in terms of being a role model, I know you've been going back to Ghana, I know you do stuff here as well. How important do you take that role?
I wouldn't title it a role model. I'm just someone that these things are happening to, and I can't be the only beneficiary. I got to go back to where I come from, whether it's Ghana, whether it's the local areas in Croydon, whether it's to the younger generation, whatever it is, just to say, I promise you, I'm as normal as you. This thing that's happening, it's not a magical thing. It can happen to you. It was just being consistent in what I did. That's all it was. And of course, I think everyone works hard. So I always say to people, look, I have to always thank God for the favour, because everyone works hard, but not everyone gets the same opportunities. There's a lot of people that have worked very hard that they've sweated blood, man. They've really grinded for things, but it hasn't happened. So I'm always thankful, and I want to always make that aware. And I say to people, look, work hard, man. Just be consistent in whatever it is you want to do. It doesn't have to be sports. Whatever it is, be consistent, and you know, eventually you get to the top.
And we're months away from the fight in October. When you're in the back room of the O2, you can hear the crowd, you're getting ready to walk out in front of all these people that pay good money to see you two go to war, to see you two live your dreams. What will go through in those final moments? Who do you look to? What do you think of?
What it says on his hat.
That's it, war.
Simple.
Like, this is a gladiator sport, like, do you know what I mean? So all that kind of just builds and adds to the, you know, the actual fight itself. So.
And for people who don't know Dan, Joshua, how would you describe his style?
Come forward fighter, pressure fighter, will box a bit, will come to fight. But you know, Dan's a good fighter. The thing about Dan is we've seen him get better all the time. Whenever he fights, he puts it all on the line. He's passionate about the sport. When he fights, you can see the passion, and he's a good fighter. So whatever fight he's in, it's almost entertaining. So people definitely should tune in.
And how would you define Joshua's style?
He's a good boxer. He's got good ring IQ. Yeah, I think for me, I've witnessed so much attributes from him because I've done over 1,000 rounds with him. So there's so many things that I can say about him. But again, he's a serious contender, and I think that's what I need to grow. So yeah.
And final question to you both. Why will it be your hand that's raised in the war between two friends?
Do you want to go first or shall I go? I'll answer. There's no other way. That what I'm doing, and when I'm in there, just when that bell rings and the referee's holding our hands, it has to be my hand. I haven't thought of any other thing. So I'll be doing my absolute best to make sure that's what happens.
It's just I've been in fights here where it's my way or the highway. Like, this is it. It's like, and this is how I feel for this fight as well. I've had it in one fight before where it was like, look, it's either my way or, you know, just forget about it. And I think this is that kind of fight for me. I have to get my hand raised.
War hasn't started yet, but can I get you both to shake hands before we disappear?